I'll say it for the fifth time this week. Can anybody stop Paul Magnier? Maybe the bad weather could. Is that his weakness? We have the stage finishing in Zagreb, the typical sprint stage to finish this race of CRO Race. Absolutely flat, only 530 meters elevation gain, but we have a downpour of weather. So the seasons are changing, the leaves are turning color, and the rain comes. They had some really good sunny weather on the coast earlier in this race, but today it was raining a lot. The riders all rugged up. We've got, looks like a February race in the Classics Breakaway with Gernelek, Asnar Koenings, and Mark Stewart. Again, Paul Magnier, would he go for his fifth victory this week in the sprints? Brandon McNulty, who I feel like the bad weather follows him around. I know he gets made to do Paris-Nice every year, and he did get a good result this year. I think it was second or third. Maybe that was last year. But I feel like the bad weather will sometimes follow him around. Quickstep were controlling the stage, and then later it was Ineos and UAE Team Emirates through the first lap of the finish line. With over 3 hours into the stage, it was UAE controlling. They just want to get Brandon McNulty safely from A to B without incident to wrap up his second GC victory in this race. Israel Prematech were also controlling, so with 3Ks to go, the break it made it deep into this finish. They only got caught with just before the Flamme Rouge, so they did a pretty good job. There was a game of cat and mouse with Quickstep not wanting to invest all their resources into controlling. They wanted to make sure they still had a lead out for Paul Magnier. And here they still do have one rider. We see Oded Kogut. He's on the left-hand side in the bright blue jersey. Danny van Poppel's in the Dutch national champs jersey. Kogut, very aggressive, taking Van Poppel off the wheel of Paul Magnier. He does eventually win that battle, but there's nearly a crash from the ricochet effect in the rain. Ineos have front position. They're leading out Ben Turner, but he's going to get left on the front a little bit too early. We do have two left-handers coming, though. And in the rain, you're going to have to be a brave man to dive bomb in the rain, although it does mean there's more space. Like, riders are just leaving a little bit more space to their side in front of them. They're being a little bit more cautious. Whereas if it was a road this wide, well, it is a road this wide, in the dry, after a stage where everyone's fresh coming into this finish, usually the dive bombing's pretty crazy. But Heideck's leading through there. Ben Turner, as I said, he's left on the front a little bit too early. This is like 600 meters to go. It's a quick step, but he maybe should have yielded the wheel to the rider behind him. Van Poppel gets into third wheel. Kogut, fifth wheel. He lets Magnier go in front of him. Magnier's in a great position, actually. Turner then does the lead out for everybody. He probably needed to be on the wheel of Van Poppel because he launches at 250 in the wet. Magnier looks like he's coming up for an easy victory, but he doesn't look as sharp as the previous sprints, and Kogut comes around him and actually wins easily. There's a crash. Rider slides out. Hope he's okay. To be honest, of all the places to crash at 50 and then slide, it wasn't the worst place. I'm not sure how much road rash he would get in the end, and usually there can be more crashes in this final stage on the city circuit. But yeah, Turner was just left on the front too early. Van Poppel was actually struggling in his wheels, so a very strong sprint from Turner. I just needed to come from the back, and you see Kogut gets the perfect run in. Magnier launches him right. Kogut gets the slingshot out, and he won Hoixipale the other week, I think, like 10 days ago, against really top sprinters. So I'm not sure how versatile he is on hills, but on a flat sprint stage like this, and maybe he can do it in like a Lula Tour or UAE Tour next year, he's probably someone to keep an eye on for those really flat sprint stages. He wins the stage, probably the biggest win of his career. Actually, the Hoixipale win was pretty big. But beating Magnier is pretty impressive too. Who wins ahead of Van Poppel, then Ben Turner, Fracek fifth, then Hugendorn sixth, Gojkovic seventh, Campbell Stewart, Zach Ozen, and Permakill running out the top 10. Here's what Kogut had to say after the race.
Congratulations. You had your first professional victory here in Croatia exactly 1 year ago. How does it feel to win again here?
Thank you. Wow. Yeah, it feels amazing. I had another victory 2 weeks ago, more or less, and now doing the second for my season here again. Yeah, of course, make me love this city and this country a lot.
And you had a great season. What are the plans for the future?
Of course, getting better and better, winning some bigger races with the team, and yeah, just making it to maybe winning to the front stage one day.
In terms of general classification, Brandon McNulty wins that by 139 ahead of Zambanini. Kwiatkowski takes third, which you'll probably be pretty happy with. McNulty defending his title 2 years, winning in a row. Here's what he had to say.
Congrats, Brandon, you're victorious here in Croatia for second year in a row. Can you talk us through this year's race?
Yeah, we knew the most important day was stage 4 with this hard climb, so we knew we just had to stay safe and then take time there, and then the last 2 days was again just making it through, and then today was kind of a bit miserable, but in the end it was okay, so it was nice to win.
You had a great season, and what are the key objectives for the next season?
Well, I haven't even thought about this yet. Now just time to rest, and then I'll think about this maybe in December.
And which memories will you carry from Croatia?
Maybe this super steep climb. It was really hard, but it was also nice to go solo there, so it was a good memory.
Can we maybe expect you here for a vacation?
We'll see. It's the rest of the week was really nice. Not like today if it's raining, but when it's nice and sunny, it's a beautiful place.
But I hope you enjoyed the videos. The next and probably last video of the season will be Paris Tour coming up in a few weekends. And so until then, ciao, ciao.